Happy Monday, fifth graders. We are starting a brand new week, which means that before I look at the checklist, I want you to notice that we have 2 new lessons, 5 and 6 in ELA, 5 and 6 in social studies, 7, 8 in math, and then 5 and 6 in science. I have added a couple new things to the fun extras. Our Flipgrid Friday is still there, and even though it's not Friday, you can still look at last Flipgrid Friday's activity, which was share a joke, and Mrs. Stafford even shared her joke on there. Maybe we can even get Mr. Blanchard to share a joke on Flipgrid Friday. We'll see. Anyways, I added a Quarantunes playlist. So if you want to make it feel like Miss Stafford's room where music's playing in the background, check that out. And then a Hogwarts at Home website that I found, which I thought was fun to do after your work is done. And then all the work from last week is now in this new topic that says week 2, that's at the very bottom, and then week 1 is at the very, very bottom. Okay, so let's scroll back up. Let's look through our daily checklist, and let's go. So today's Monday, which means we're doing ELA and social studies. So for ELA today, you're going to have lesson 5. Make sure to watch all the videos, listen to all the directions, and then it says to add notes to your research note catcher. Remember, your research note catcher is something you've been working on, so you're going to be able to find that in your Google Drive. And then Science Talk note catcher is new, so you're going to fill out the Science Talk note catcher. So let's go to ELA, where it says lesson 5, and then here are those steps again. And then you're going to watch lesson 5, and then here's that Science Talk note catcher. But you're also going to do the research note catcher. It's just not linked here because it's in your drive. And then I always have this asterisk here that says, remember to turn in this assignment when you are finished, because it helps me and Mr. Blanchard see who has done it and who hasn't. And if you don't turn it in, I can still see your work, but we have to go hunting for it, which takes a long time. So let's go back to the checklist. For social studies today, you're doing lesson 5/6. Now, this is what that means. 5 and 6, lesson 5 and 6, Miss Sandora and Miss Payne made this lesson, and they made it together. So it's one big Google Slides document, and it's located right here, lesson 5 and 6, okay? It's long. It's a lot of information. About halfway through, slide 10, there's a nice little spot to stop, and on slide 10, so look, it says Monday, so complete through slide 10 and then stop and do the Padlet question located on slide 10. And then my suggestion is to do lesson 6, which starts on slide 11 all the way till the end, okay? And then complete the exit ticket at the end. So that's how we're suggesting you do social studies. So it says 5 and 6 together, but here is directions for how to split that up, and just work at your own pace. You guys are getting pretty good at doing that. And that's it. I did want to mention something new that you might see. So if you go to open up our office hours this morning, you're going to see that we have added kind of something a little extra here. So underneath where you normally see our class meetings, we always meet with Mr. Blanchard's homeroom at 1. We always meet with Mrs. Stafford's homeroom at 1, and then Tuesdays and Wednesdays, okay? Underneath that, I have a new date, and it's just for this week only. We're having a science talk, a text-based discussion on Google Meet, and it's extra, okay? It's not mandatory, so if you already have something going on, you know, Thursday at 2, Mr. Blanchard's homeroom, or Thursday at 9:30, my homeroom. If you already have something going on, don't stress about it, but I would really like, if you can be there, to be there. And this is talked about in our reading lesson, okay? So I know it says science talk, but it's because we're talking about natural disasters in a text-based discussion. We're calling that a science talk. And I want you to make it there if you can. So if that's what you see there, that's why it's there. And I'm going to talk more about this at our class meetings. So don't stress too much about it. If you have questions, feel free to join our normal office hours and ask away. But I wanted you to know that that's why that new thing is there. And after this week, we won't have them again. Okay, so it's a one-time only science talk, just like we would normally do in Miss Stafford's class. And I think that's it. Have a great Monday. Tune into our office hours if you need help with anything, or even if you just want to say hi, good morning, I miss you. We love those kinds of pop-ins also. And we will talk to you later, fifth grade.